All right. We got ourselves the winners match in Group A, and a surprise one it is. SCARLETT in the bottom right, probably the biggest underdog for the entire group in my opinion, and our opponent in the top left blocking her expansion. It is Creator. I also look at this group and I was like, big underdog. Obviously, he can always go through, but you put him in a group with Maru, Solar, and SCARLETT, and you're like, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I was looking at the groups just yesterday before this group went live. As I'm just casting it the following morning, about 12 hours after, for those who are watching later on YouTube. And basically, I looked at the group and I was like, man, the way the groups are spread, I was like, oh, the Protoss players like kind of really like they're spread in pretty bad groups. Like you get like Nightmares in a one group, this guy's in one group, and then the one group that's like a little bit more doable for them, you have Classic and Hero together, where they're like there's a good chance one of them eliminates the other. So I was like, oh, this looks really rough for Protoss players. So to see Creator in a winners match has me kind of excited that he's the guy who, you know, I think at this point is not unused to being counted out. People are like, oh, in a group with Maru and Solar, they're big favorites. But to be fair, Creator does good versus Solar. He could definitely take down SCARLETT as well. He is a fantastic defensive Protoss. The Baneling's been nerfed a little bit. Yes, Hydra's come out a little bit earlier, but those just aren't really the scariest unit at pro play because they are gated behind those multiple upgrades. So even though those upgrades are faster and cheaper, it's not going to massively change things. And he's just so good at turtling and defending. Now, Oceanborn is a, I would say, medium-sized to smaller map in this current map pool. He's going to have to defend a choke point there and into his third base. I wonder where he takes the fourth. Probably up the top. But I wonder if he tries to just take this one on the low ground and then, like, wall off the front really hard on his third. I also wonder what the hell SCARLETT's going to do because there is a lot of stuff going on, man. There is a lot of stuff going on in the meta with shifts and changes and how everyone's playing. And I don't know how she's going to adapt. Now, chronoing probes. Look at that. Double chrono on the probes into Twilight Council Creator. This is the best thing about Creator, which I would hate playing against Creator is if I was a top-level Zerg because he is so committed to variance in his play. There are series where Hero is like, we're going to go Oracle Adept every game in a best of 7. It can go to the 7th game, 7 games in a row, Oracle Adept every game. Creator is like, I'm going to go Stargate Oracle Adept, then I'm going to go Robo Opening, then I'm going to go Twilight Opening, then I'm going back to Stargate. Like, and it obviously he doesn't just do it in that set order. He's quite unpredictable, but he's always changing it up, and it's very hard to assume exactly what Creator's going to do. Sometimes he'll do an opening that looks like this. You scout, oh yeah, this looks normal. And he's just got a delayed Stargate hidden in the back. He hides 2 Oracles, sneaks him across the map, gets a bunch of drones. So it's difficult for SCARLETT to fully ascertain what is going on in this game. Let's see how she plays it. Oh, if that Depth commits to the Shade, that would be quite bad. But the Zerglings are going to scare it away from that. Zergling pokes forward, sees a second gateway. She's hanging out here. Now, you want to go for a Roach Warren usually no later than about 4 minutes 10 against this sort of pressure for SCARLETT. She's starting to rally back into gas, so she's not going for the quick Ravager response that Dark loves. Solar sometimes uses this as well. With that one, you need to drop a Roach Warren in a second gas no later than 3 minutes 40, often at 3:30, whereas she's going for the 4-minute Roach Warren on a single gas. So she's going to be like quite queen focused. She's going 6 queens, lots of queens, Zergling starting, but she's on 43 workers. Okay, SCARLETT, build Overlords right now, and you better start massing units because that Prism's going to be coming out, and that's a lot of gateways. This is 6 gate Glaive Adept. Oh, she's going to need a lot of roaches on a single gas. The problem is you can only afford like 4 or 5 roaches when that Roach Warren finishes. It's mostly Lings and Queens. And 6 gate Adept is so committed. And you know, he's pushing kind of slow. So I think he's almost convincing her that it's going to be TTs or something else, something that hits a bit later. He's hiding it really well. She built 7 more drones, SCARLETT! Oh, she's completely misread this. She thought it was a fake out, but he hides it, and she built 7 more drones. That is a disaster. Even if she built all roaches there, this is still a scary push to deal with because there's going to be 6 more Adepts warping in the moment. Uh-oh, this is a disaster for SCARLETT. She needs to stabilize and hang on. That goddamn jellyfish floating around the map, always scaring the heck out of me. 6 more Adepts do warp in. They're coming in to join forces on the front. That's 14 Adepts. The roach is starting to come out. SCARLETT, she's going to have to start using transfuses, but she doesn't have a lot of energy. Oh, the Queen's just kind of move commanded forward there. That was a little bit derpy. But the Lings do get a nice surround on the ramp. The problem is the Adepts kill them so bloody quickly. She's positioning about as well as she could hope. I like that the Lings back off from the Adepts and start trying to chase the Shade, but they've got a free pass into that main base. You know, she's done pretty well so far. She's going to run the drones away by drilling them out of there. She's only lost 5 workers, and she was so greedy. This could have been a lot worse, honestly. And those Adepts are going to try to get out of that. Nice Ling positioning. She gets a massive surround on those 3. But look at how quickly the Lings die. And the Adepts are able to kind of wriggle out of the surround. She's only got 6 roaches. She's mostly on mass Ling. She does get a pretty good wraparound. Oh, that's a great wraparound. But Adepts have walked in the main as well. The Queen's just got rid of the Prism. She's losing a lot of workers. She needs to go back to drones right now. And she does. Holy crap. Guys, she actually held that very well. I think that might be a big advantage for SCARLETT. Depending on how quickly she can get back to droning. I know she's down on workers right now, but he's got no units. He literally can't even defend his 3rd. If she goes across the map, that's a free cancel on the 3rd right now. And she does. She took a few seconds to make that decision. You can tell she's kind of injecting, building a 4th, trying to get her economy back in position. That should be a free kill, surely. There's 3 Adepts now. It's not that many Zerglings. She needs to wrap around the backside of that mineral line or click on the Nexus, one or the other. She's going to go for the Adepts. They're going to have to shade to safety, and they do. That means she should be able to kill this base, right? She pulls her roaches home. So she hasn't actually committed to the Nexus. And she lets it get up. Potential mistake there. It would have been hard to actually focus it down, don't get me wrong, but maybe did cost her. She's now pulling back into a defensive stance. She's up 10 workers with 6 more on the way. Oh, she's got a massive eco advantage, but where are her roaches? Oh, there they are, coming in at the perfect time. Even with good focus fire, Creator only gets a single worker for an Adept, and she's looking great. Lair is finished, roach speed's on the way, Evo Chamber as well. SCARLETT is just playing solid defensive StarCraft today. Her first series was immaculate. This one, yes, she was too greedy, but she scrambled very well in a way which, you know, she should have been pretty screwed. Dark Templar coming in the bottom. She doesn't have an Overseer. Okay. Okay, this is a big move. The Adepts are distracting out front. Roaches and Lings going to engage. A lot of Adepts going down. This is an expensive move. He really needs to get the distraction off with this and then do big damage with the Prism. There's 2 Spore Crawlers on the edge. She can easily morph Overseers. I don't really see this doing that much damage. He's going to drop in the main base. And, okay, he's going to take out the Spore Crawler up there. The Spore on the low ground is providing detection, though. Oh, is it? Is it? Oh, yes, it is. 2 Dark Templar go down. 9 drones, so it looks like those DTs got something. And oh, the Prism barely gets out. Creator with a clutch play right there. He's going to recall the Prism, but he's screwed. Even with an equal worker count, I don't know, man. What can you do? You've just started Charge. You've just started the Forge. You're making Immortals. Luckily, he has a lot of gateways from earlier in the game, but she's going to instantly redrone. She's building 7 Overlords, and I think she's in a very good position despite that start being very bad for her. And this is kind of unfortunate for Creator and Protoss fans out there because this reminds me a little bit of Creator versus Serral at Gamers 8 on Babylon, where he completely caught him off guard with a Charge Zealot all in. And Serral had so many drones, way too many workers. Like, he built over 50 workers, maybe almost 60 against a like 30 probe Zealot all in, which should be a free win. And Creator kind of didn't commit quite correctly. He could have focused the Roach Warren down and won the game, but he kind of ummed and ahed a little bit. And it was really unfortunate he didn't get that win. This is another case of a Zerg who it feels like has been completely tricked by his strategy. But then when the executions come down to it, he just didn't get quite enough worker kills. And obviously you'd need to analyze it down to the tiny details to point out where he could have focused the drones a little bit better and that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, he didn't get that. She's on max, almost maxed out on Roach Ravager. She's got also Bane speed now done, so she can support with some Banelings to clear any Zealots. And without Prism deep in the red, he can't really cross-buy into the main base either. So she can just leave a few Ravagers or Lings there to help defend with the Queens. And she can go across the map and just annihilate. Because like, look at his defensive force. It's 3 Zealots, 2 Sentries, and an Archon. A single Archon there. He does have 2 Immortals over here. So, I mean, if you combine all those forces, maybe. But she's maxed and it's go time. I mean, her decision is made for her. She knows she's got the momentum. She's got a giant army morphing. She's going to move on. Even more Banelings morphing. And you've got a big ramp on the left, a big ramp on the right. She's going to go for it. Those force fields are going to need to be absolutely clutch. Creator spreading his units out as best he can. But look at that. She's going in towards the natural. Sentries and Immortals coming forward. Prism trying to come back, but it's not in position in time. Already 1 Immortal on the left goes down. Those units get dropped. They get taken out. Banelings are going after the probes. She gets a big juicy hit there. An Immortal goes down in the natural wall off. He falls back there, but Scarlet wisely just pulls to the right, ignoring the sentries and Immortals behind the wall off. And that there is a beautiful defense for Scarlet off of a very greedy start. All right, we're going into another game, and she is somehow one game away from 4-0ing her group. What in the hell? Scarlet repping Shopify Rebellion, and she's looking like an absolute monster so far today. Creator in the bottom left side, to be fair, he's got to be frustrated after that game. He caught her with her pants down, and with her pants down, she somehow backflipped over him, and then I don't know, gave him a what do they call it? They put the person in the toilet, a swirly or whatever. Gave him the atomic wedgie. Creator's probably going to go back to Stargate this game. I do think he's a fantastic Stargate player. This is a pretty big map as well. And this is, of course, the map with the crazy choke points around this watchtower on the right side. Very awkward area to fight. It's a cool map, by the way. There is like a little... Is that like a marine? Inside like a... Looks like someone's in stasis there. And then you've got... Whoa! Is that a robot Zergling, guys? Is it just me, or is that a robot Zergling? I have not looked at this on this map before. And there's a few... There's a Baneling. I think that is an infested Terran or something. And there's something else all in stasis as well. Oh, cool. Very cool. Let me know if you all notice any cool things on the new maps. They're all new, so I'm having a good time kind of checking it out. It's a giant mutated rat, says chat. Not sure if real or not. I'll get some Vespene crates there and underneath these other crates as well. Very nice. We're about to start finding out some stuff about the opening, so let's take a look here. We've got an Adept on the way. Warp Gate starts. Adept gets chronoed. Warp Gate gets cancelled. Stargate gets started. Let's go to Scarlet's vision. I think she already probably saw the Warp Gate get cancelled. She sees it there. Yeah, she saw it just started only now, so she should know for sure. I just wanted to make sure that she checked that, and she should realize what's up. Is this also the map with a Xel'Naga in a tube? Apparently there's a Xel'Naga in a tube on this map, potentially. I am sad the map with like all the weird bodies getting experimented on didn't make it in. I'm not sure if this has got a Xel'Naga in a tube. If so, you guys figure out where it is. Let me know where on the map. We'll find it. Okay, Adept Shade's on forward. I assume this is going to be an Oracle first, but obviously Creator is one of the weirdos that does build a Void Ray every now and then. Adept Shade cancels. Oracle starts up. Second Adept's going to come in. Ooh, Creep Tumor could get sniped. Creep Tumor's just started. And he does see it, but it's a bit too late. Creep Tumor finishes. She's got quite a few Zerglings, but they're not quite on top of it, and that's going to cost her. Oh, nice focus fire to break this around. Gets 3 drones. And he's going to get number 4. Oh, slick micro there. If Creator gets number 5, that's going to add insult to injury. 4 drones go down, pretty successful. If it was 3, she might have been all right with it. But remember, she built 10 Zerglings and 4 queens as well, so she should have been pretty safe. Now she's going to be a bit frustrated. Only 1 queen on that third as well. 2 queens there. Where's the 4th queen? Okay, no, there is another queen, but it's out of position. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Scarlet, get in that mineral line right now. She's moving the queens to defend, but the main base is a little undefended. She does stutter step a little bit. Good pull on the drones, and very good pull on the drones. Doesn't lose a single worker. If he doubles into the natural, she'll lose a bunch, though. And, oh, he goes for it. It's a risky play, but it pays off. He gets 3 drones for just a few more hit points, and Scarlet's opening has been damaged heavily. On the other hand, there's no third base. So Creator is at least making it look like he's committing to Sky Toss by going 3rd and 4th gas before 3rd base. Her Lings are going to come back in, but with a Void Ray and a few Adepts there, no chance of taking that down. She's supply blocked, so she's putting a lot of Overlords right now. And these Lings are going to come in for a good surround. Void Ray's actually not in position, which means she'll kill at least 1 Adept. Oh, she gets both. Great trade. Very good trade for Scarlet. That's unfortunate for Creator. So Void Ray doesn't kill these units very quickly. So you need some Adepts to make sure that 3rd base survives. Void Ray into 3 Oracles. It's a super economic kind of defensive build for Creator. Just lots of air harassment. Robo, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes super late Twilight and just builds like some sentries, an Immortal or 2, and really just focuses on lots of high-tech units and a very slow gateway explosion. Queen's going to start to push those oracles south. And great defense here by SCARLETT. And she's up in workers by 6. She's got 3 more drones, but she's been practicing a lot. You can tell. Look at her worker count. Maybe it's playtesting and playing all these other games, you know? I do feel like SCARLETT sometimes plays her most inspired StarCraft when she's gone back and been grinding some StarCraft remastered ladder for shits and giggles. You know, she's a player who really excels at learning new games faster than just about anyone else. So maybe it's, you know, playing Stormgate, playing Zero Space, playing all these alphas that are out at the moment. It's given her a bit of inspiration, but she's looking very tight on the macro. To lose this many drones and then still have such a good economy tells me she's been near perfect on reproducing her workers. But there we go. Her defense, though, is slipping a few times. Adept's going to come in. Drones trying to surround. Lings aren't there. Oh, so yeah, as much as her macro is being great, her defense has not. She's lost 15 workers this game, and that is unacceptable. So great compliments to her for still being ahead on workers after all that. It shows that she's still definitely in this game with a decent shot, but definitely not as clean as she'd want it to be. She's going up against a creator that's heading, like I said, very late charge in +1, only starting at 630. Slowly adding gateways. He's on 2 gateways, going up to 5. Will no doubt be heading towards 8. And has built a warp prism into an observer, trying to get a bit of vision. Oracles come back in, get another 2 workers. 17 workers in total. Remember, there are 3 oracles. One of them's on defense duty. And a quick 4th base for creator. That's his favorite thing to do. You'd think you'd be able to just get rid of this 4th base. I feel like he so consistently takes a 4th base before 7 minutes. You'd think you'd be able to just kill it with something. But he also pairs it up with, hey, look, I'm attacking you. And it's not a real attack. It's just a pressure, really. And yet it's so successful at keeping the Zerg pinned back on the defense. Baneling Nest is on the way, +2 melee roach speed. Seems like Ravager Baneling is the play here for SCARLETT. Oracle comes forward, pushes back those Zerglings. Phoenix tries to bypass in towards the main and the natural. It's going to see a super quick hive. Now, it's just started. He does not know that. We know that hive's just started, and he's already going second Robo Bay. He might try and push Broodlord or something. She's not got any sign of going Broods. There's no Spire. There's no Hydra Den. She's just making a second Evo. Is she just going to go Vipers? One thing I've been wanting to see a lot more of is actually Ultralisk play in this matchup. They're 25 minerals cheaper, and if you pair them with Spellcasters, like good Viper Infester usage, Ultras are very nice because they are super tanky. They jump on top of things like Eye Templar and Neurals, Blinding Clouds. Abduct's all very effective with them. That's a pretty weird style for a pro gamer to bring out in a big tournament, though. It's not something you see a lot of, and I don't expect players to have brand new builds this early into the patch. But we'll see how it goes. Double Colossus production is there, and I'm telling you, Viper's hard counters these Colossus really well. Yes, there's a Templar Archive, so you can make High Templar for feedback. It's a very complicated army to micro. Carapace is on the way. She's going Ultras. Ultra Viper, I think, beats this army. Unless Creator realizes early enough and starts building Immortals. She's going Ultra Infested. She's doing it. Oh, this is sick. Now, don't get me wrong. She took a lot of damage this game. This is not the best start into this style. This is not, and she let him take a 4th very early and a 5th. This is not like the best case scenario for Ultras. Like, I'm sure people are going, okay, let's see if this is good. She is behind maybe a little in this game, but I think it's such a good style. Unfortunately, it gets scouted. And immediately, I would actually cancel these Colossus and go straight for Immortals. Creator's still going to let him finish. But Immortals are the answer to those Ultras. And then Storm plus High Templar for both. Storm for the Lingbane, feedback for the Infestors, and potential Vipers. All can be absolutely smashing ways to play. I've been having a lot of fun playing around with like Ultra Infestor in a few different matchups. I even tried it versus Cyclone Mech the other day. Some pretty incredible fights with Fungals, but I was a bit too far behind and did end up losing the game. It's a lot of Lingbane Roach still in this army, and those army units expire, whereas these army units for Protoss continue to get better. You can see there's Immortals building now. It's a pretty good setup right now. Oh, no! Oh, the famous snipe on the Ultra Cavern. Oh, every Zerg hates this. She starts 2 Ultras in time, but now she's got to remake her Ultra Cavern. Her Lings pop out, and they all just stand and fight and get annihilated. They don't even kill a single Zealot. The Prism being an absolute bag of diddly-does right now. Adrenal Glands will at least finish. She's got +3 melee, +1 Carapace on the way right now. I like that. Sieges the Warp Prism to make sure it can't get F2'd. There's a few Observers and Void Rays and Oracles scattered around. Great vision here for Creator, who's now up on 5 bases. And you really don't want to be up against a 5-base Protoss, guys. That is not what you want to be. Ultras are a good surprise unit. They're a fantastic unit if you can hit a sharp timing attack with them. But if the opponent is allowed to build 6 to 8 Immortals, that is not where Ultras are good. They are, in fact, almost useless. If the Protoss attacks into you, you engage with Surprise Ultras, it can be a game-winning move. If you hold Mass Stalker Colossus with them, it's great. But here we go, trying to use that Ultra to get in the Stasis Trap, locking that Ultralisk in place. The other one comes forward as well, but Battery Overcharge is doing well. She needs to get out of here, and she needs to get out of here soon. She cannot overpower the Battery Overcharge Colossus army. Great defensive fight there for Creator. He's making Archon Zealot on the left to come in for a flanky flank. He's immediately going for a counterattack. Oh, golly. Oh, golly god. Kindness Plating is still 40 seconds away. That means those Ultras are not going to have that much armor. They're only at 3 armor right now. They're meant to be at 5. Ling, Ravager, Roach, Ultra trying to come forward, but without Blinding Clouds here, I don't see you being able to win this fight. The Infestors all went down. You need Blinding Clouds against this sort of army. Without Blinding Clouds, I don't think the Banelings are going to cut it. They're getting hammered. The Banelings do nothing. Oh my lord, absolute annihilation. The 4 Colossus spread it like it's hot, and they absolutely annihilate. Very well done. Those Immortals still killing the Ultras very quickly. And a nice series of engagements there for Creator. Usually you need a surround with a sort of Ultra-style army and Blinding Clouds across their army, especially on top of the Immortals, and you'll do well, but the Kindness Plating getting denied, there being no Vipers, and her attacking into him. Creator, the moment he defends an attack like that, he is so quick to spring into action with the counter-offensive, and he takes out SCARLETT, ties up the series 1-1. Alright. SCARLETT's on 1, Creator's on 1. Winner of this goes out in first place in a pretty damn difficult group. It's the 2 underdogs fighting. It's all down to this map. And SCARLETT's in the top right, repping Shopify Rebellion. Creator in the bottom left. Is Creator on a team right now? Let me know in Twitch chat. Anyone who's watching, Jamie, look that one up. I think it might be on Abydos. Be a criminal for Creator to be teamless. The man is an absolute savage. Wears his heart on his sleeve as well. It's hard not to be invested in a Creator match, especially when you can see his face. Isn't Creator playing for Envy? I didn't think Envy is actually a team anymore, guys. Apparently it is. Okay, so this is the most confusing thing. For those who don't know, Envy disbanded, and then they kind of reformed, but not officially as a proper team, but as like kind of a team. And a lot of the players, even for other teams, still have their Team Envy shirt. It's very confusing. I think they're just a clan of friends who, until they get a better team, still play on Club Envy rather than Pro Team Envy. I don't fully understand it. Basically, this is a great example of pro players making things as confusing as possible. I think you got a better job of finding a team or a sponsor if you're showing up as teamless. Probably. Maybe? I don't know. Anyways, at one point I'll have it explained to me and then I'll probably forget and then pretend I don't know because I'm really stupid. Anyways, we've got a third hatchery on the way over there as well. Was Envy the Korean Airlines? That was Jin Air. A lot of the Jin Air players became Team Envy. Team Envy picked them all up when Jin Air disbanded. So that's why you think often of Envy as, like, you know, Rogue, and I think Rogue and Maru and stuff were on Envy for a while there, but they did disband in that format. Anyways, let's talk about the game at hand. Apologies for my poor casting, guys. Getting distracted here. Oracle's on the way. Pretty tight opening, but getting a third blocked repeatedly. I mean, I definitely don't like that, but it's so standard at this point. I don't really think it's worth talking about too much. Only 2 Lings in the main. Uh-oh. Run those drones. Run those drones. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, she gets a good surround. She's going to lose 4 drones, but hopefully no more than that. Oh, he gets out of the surround. That's bad. That's bad. That's really bad. 5 drones? Oh, my lord. That's so rough. This early in the game, and she built 10 Zerglings. 2 games in a row getting punished by the double adept. I always say you got to mix that double adept in because it's very hard for Zerg to defend that when they've got the third base in such a weird position. And it's so common that a Zerg makes a mistake and they'll be like, oh, I've got 8 Lings at my third and only 2 in the main. And they're like, oh, crap. You know, I'm not quite distributed the way I need to be. Now, she's hit in some supply blocks, but she is now droning pretty well. Creep Tumor goes down. 1, 2, 3. Nice snipes. This is a massive advantage. 39 probes to 26. This might be game over. It's unfortunate, but it's simply the truth of the matter is a lot of StarCraft at the top level is you got to be clean on your early defense. ZvP especially. Oh, that's good. Okay, she gets a cancel. That is very good. That gets a bit of a win in the column for SCARLETT. That's very important to slow him down. Only costs her 3 Zerglings as well, so super good trade for her. Delaying that third is big. You know, it's not just about the mineral loss. It's delaying the third. But she was very far behind on the workers. All right, Evo Chamber's on the way right now. 3 more drones are building. A lot of Protoss aggro. Requires very specific responses or you just die. I agree, guys. I think if you copy pro players and make your life really difficult, I agree. I think if SCARLETT did a 15-15 and actually didn't get her natural blocked every game, it would be easier to defend. And that's my opinion. I think Sterile makes his life quite easy by getting that hatchery down. Dark even does some weird 15 hatchery openings, even though his gas and pool come down a lot later and it's not really an optimized build. That being said, she could have defended it better, right? She did just make some small mistakes and unfortunate not paying attention there because the Void Ray came in. Void Ray gets an Overlord and that distracts her, so he gets a good stasis. Nowhere near as bad as losing the drones, but it is 21 seconds of losing mining time. Good thing in one of the recent patches is you can now box these units, click them on the minerals, and they'll go straight back to mining, whereas you used to have to wait for the stasis trap to finish, and only then could you give any orders. There we go, she gets a bit of revenge. She does get an Oracle Snipe. Her worker count is still impressive. As I've been pointing out this series, her defense is a little lacking, but her macro is so good anyway, and that is why she's keeping her worker count up competitively. But you don't want to just be competitive because Create is such a defensive player. He will just turtle up and wait for you to come to him. And unless you're really confident playing Hive Tech, and we saw in that last game she's playing what some would argue is a gimmicky style, the Ultra Infestor style, one of my favorite styles, but let's be real, it's a reason why it's not being played most top games. She's really got to try and get a bit of momentum here. She can't be letting him take control of the game. All right, good drone pull. Oh, she pulled back with the drones a little bit too early. Does lose one of them. Nonetheless, she's going into the 70s of workers, and interestingly, he doesn't have a 4th up yet. How many gateways is he on? Okay, so he's just now going to 5 gateways, 6.5 minutes. He'll build 3 more gateways, and then he'll take a 4th base, I guess. Fair enough. Void Ray's finding more Overlords. Oh, she's got to clean up this defense. She can't be giving him all these free kills. And the Adepts slide into the natural. The Lings are way out of position. Those Lings need to go towards that main base. She does split her Lings pretty nicely, and those Adepts should go down. And she's going to get one more? No. Oh, she gets yet another 4 drones, bringing it up to... Oh, he does, sorry. It's Creator killing SCARLETT's drones, not the other way around. I'm used to her murdering my drones, you know, playing Protoss when she's off racing. She is her main Zerg right now. 7 more Overlords on the way? Oh, man. She's about to explode into army. The question is, what sort of army? Man, that 4th is exposed on the left. She's going for the 3rd base, but I'd love her to just go left and get a free cancel on the 4th. She just doesn't know it's there. Missed opportunity for SCARLETT. Oracle dives in, gets another 4 workers before the Spore and the Queens are established. Does she see that? She still hasn't seen the 4th as well. He always takes such a quick 4th. I really feel like sniping that 4th has to be a key part of beating Creator in this matchup. But no one's really found a way to do it in the last few games. I've watched a Creator playing this. Now, he's pushing forward with a very scary attack. She's making roaches right now, but she already traded a lot of Zerglings away. She's on 83 workers. He might just sense that she's too greedy. He's turning on his lasers and killing the Banelings that are morphing. Oh, he's just realized she's been way too greedy. He's like, I did a lot of damage, and she's throwing Zerglings into the meat grinder at my base. I don't see any roaches. Let's just commit. I guarantee you he was thinking about pulling back and not committing to this push, but he's realized that she's just so caught without enough units that he can potentially kill her right here, right now. An opportunistic strike across the map for Creator, and he is going to find pretty massive damage. It's I don't know if you call it a half-cocked attack, but it's definitely not the biggest walloping timing. He's got a 4th. He just built some cannons behind this. He's only got 7 gateways, and yet he is dealing immense damage. The Void Ray finally goes down to the Spore Crawler and the Queens. The Roaches on the 3rd are going to have to come here to defend, but that Zealot is in the natural, killing 7 drones. Make it 8, make it 9. That Zealot is going absolutely ham. Roaches coming in, trying to focus down some of these Stalkers before started stepping away from the Zealots. Those 2 Immortals are being butchers. 22 worker kills. That Zealot up in the natural. You can see the workers it's killed in the bottom right, guys. That Zealot has been an absolute menace. And look at that, picking up Immortals, dropping them on top of these Roaches. Oh, this is a nasty fight. The Zealot's on 14 drones behind this. She may be getting some great value cleaning this army up in the tail end of this. She may have 5 bases, but wait, oh no, she doesn't. Her natural died, and that Zealot is on 14 kills. Make it 15. That Zealot is an absolute savage. He just butchered her economy single-handedly while she was distracted by everything else. Random Stalker behind the base does go down as well. Giga Chad, the Zealot, does finally get taken down. He died in battle the way he wanted to. 1, 2. She's still got 4 bases. But he's on 4. And he's got 5 new Immortals. What? Did he save some in his prism? Or is he just non-stop building Immortals this whole time? What the hell? Oh, yeah, he saved 2 of them in the prism, didn't he? Okay, I see. These guys must have crazy upgrades. Crazy kills, I mean. Yeah, 29 kills across them. 16 on one, 13 on the other. Scarlett's massing Roaches and Lings. She's trying to go for an all-in. She says, okay, I killed a lot of units. Maybe I can catch him off guard with a sneaky attack. But he's still got 2 Oracles for vision. And look at the energy. That one, 60 energy. That one on 65. Plenty of energy to kill lots of Lings, Banes, and Roaches. He's also making sentries, which will do a great job of keeping him alive. He's on 78 probes. He's sending some Zealot run-bys in. He runs into her army here. Oh, she catches him off guard. The Lings are going to get a nice round, activating barriers and picking off some of those sentries. But he does slow down the advance. That's a big spready of Immortals. An Archon there as well. I like that he's falling into his natural with some of these units. And, oh, okay. Archon does get picked off. Can't break the natural, not with multiple Immortals in there. Third base is the target. Force fields start to come down. Baneling's rolling in on top. That's a lot of Roach Ravager Baneling. The Prism is doing some nice hot pickup saves. So good attack timing here from Scarlett, but the units are going to rally in from the natural as well. And that can end up being a bit of a surround. You've got to be careful as the Zerg to not get your whole force surrounded here. And the Zealots come back. Their attempted run by was not able to go through. Creator's actually floating a lot of money right now. He's still only got 8 gateways and a robo to produce off, but he's microing his heart out. Creator's got that Zest Bank right now. Uh-oh. Immortal, one of them goes down in the mineral line. That red hit point Immortal on the right almost goes down. The one on the left, they both get saved. The Stalker Zealot, just enough numbers here. And it looks like, I think he's barely held. Oh, that Immortal goes down on the outside. These 2 Immortals are picked up. My God, this is such a close fight right now. But Scarlett is all in. Remember, she's only on 53 workers. He's on 76, and he's got so much money to bounce back. Look at his production tab. High Templar, +3, Blink, Immortals, Oracles even. He's spending money on anything again. Scarlett is broke. She's stuck massing Roaches, Zerglings, and Banelings. She's looking for the desperate all-in counterattack, and she's not able to get it. And to be fair, this all came off just great Oracle Adept harass, just keeping pressure going, constant waves of it. He killed so many workers in the early game. He set himself up for that big 4, it was a 4-base Immortal Archon charge push. And it only caught her off because she'd both taken way too much damage and overdroned behind it, going 83 workers. You feel you need that against a 4-base Protoss, but of course he was not probing his 4th yet. Committed to an attack and kind of baited her into going too greedy. Roachbane comes in. Round 3, final attempt here for Scarlett. But it looks like it washes up on the wall of Protoss. Good spread of Stalkers who now have Blink and +2. The Zealots as well. The Oracle's doing crazy damage. And Scarlett, she was so close to getting out first place in this group. Now she's going to have to be playing the final deciders match against whoever wins the losers match. It's going to be against the winner of course, those other 2 players, Maru and Solar. Stalker's coming on forward, taking out some of these Roachies. And that's it. She's done. She's trying to drone now, but it's too late. She's got no upgrades, you know, compared to the Protoss that's got +3 almost done. 2 Colossus are building. Great defense by Creator, and I do wonder if she canceled the 4th base, started massing units like Roaches right then, could she have held on? She got a bit of damage in the 3rd when she ran in there with the Zerglings, but I'm sure she's just kicking herself for the Adept Oracle defense at the start, because he committed pretty hard, and you've really got to make sure you have at least 4 Zerglings in each mineral line when that double Adept Shade comes in. Only having 2 in the main, and him breaking out of her drone surround as well was a big problem, so one of the little hot things, and I'll point it out, there was a bit of micro that she could have done, potentially, to minimize the damage. Oh, the Immortal drop is back. Get out of here. Creator knows she can't really afford many units that shoot off, and he's like, yay! I can just pick up and leave anytime the fight gets bad. Re-drop whenever I want. He's building a crazy army. She's on 70 workers, obviously. She's looking for a chance to get back in the game, but I don't know if these Banelings are going to do it. Creator's just so good at camping and defending. You know, it's rare for him to get overeager and attack. Lurkers might be the best comeback play here. Infestors could be okay, but it's pretty rare to see that one pulled off. Stalker's blinking back, Oracle Revelation. Nice surround there. Hey, she actually takes out a bunch of Stalkers. Very nice plays. She even gets the Oracle with some Biles. Slick micro there by SCARLETT. There's 4 Colossus, 5 Immortals, 3 Archons. I mean, that alone is so hard to stop. And you've got more and more High Templar warping in, morphing into Archons. Banelings are not what you want against this. Baneling Roach Ravager hits an expiry date. And I always say, it's if they have a bunch of Colossus, they get a bunch of Archons in front of it, you're pretty screwed. But if you also have 5 Immortals underneath as well, there's no way. Prism flies in, does get sniped by the Queens. Nice move there by SCARLETT. Zealot's running down the right side. Gonna try and run into this base. Lots of Banelings morphing. SCARLETT's gonna look for one heroic engagement to clean this army up. But look at the splash damage, the tankiness, the absorption power on that army. She'd like to get a full surround. She knows she's not going to get it, so she's just going to go for it while he's clumped up as all hell. Looked like he wasn't even watching. Loses 2 Colossus, a bunch of Immortals. Does it matter? I don't really know. Lings get in on the 5th base of Creator, start to do some very nice damage. But Zealots have already killed some of her workers as well, and she's back to being down on drones despite doing a whole bunch of damage on this side. Up to 10 gateways of Zealot Warpins. More Colossus being built right now for Creator. Creator is ahead in the units lost by a few thousand, and that number will no doubt continue to grow as he's on 3-1 upgrades. She's about to get +2 range, but there's no hive. There is no follow-up. And even doing a Colossus drop. Creator just staying active right now. Zealots on the right going to be smashing those Zerglings. The upgrade differential is insane. Those Zealots going to move to the right side, maybe even get a hatchery as well. The Zerglings taking them down very quickly, but these are only +1 melee Zerglings. There is an armor upgrade on the Zealots to counteract that, and they take down the hatchery. On the right side, this Colossus is still being getting dropped at the same time. I think that just dodged some corrosive vials, as I saw an attack warning over there. We've got stasis traps spread on the left, and so hard to engage this. If you move on creep and let these units get surrounded, they can go down, but fighting off creep, they're all so tanky. You can just kind of pull back the weak units, and this is the problem you run into with this sort of Roachling Baneling army, is it does hit an expiry date where these small expendable units, they're meant to surround, swarm, and crush with overwhelming numbers. Creator is never giving that opportunity, and you can see even a single Stalker trying to blink in to let the Banelings explode on it, hoping that SCARLETT wasn't looking. She does pay attention and doesn't make the mistake. But in the bottom right, she's going to attack. She's caught out not that many Protoss units, but you've got 2 Oracles turning on their lasers, the cannons, the battery overcharge, and that all is going to scare her back. She may catch that Immortal in the middle of the map at the same time. Up here, it looks like Stasis Trap is going to scare her off. She goes after the Immortal, but even that Immortal pulls back. Creator is on point. All the little details, and you see he's not giving any opportunity for SCARLETT to get back in this game. She's back to 3 bases. These Banelings rolling from their left, they hit almost nothing. Banelings rolling in from their right. It looks like a single sentry and Immortal go down. But that's just way too much there. Creator looking unstoppable, and his defensive macro play is off the charts. GG, well played.